Yorvith, over...
What is it?
A tome of potion recipes.
We've no time to read books.
Sorceresses carefully guard books like this.
Not that carefully. After all, she left it behind.
She was in a hurry.
Could this book have anything to do with the Dragon Slayer?
Most things in this land seem to have something to do with Saskia, the dragon.
How do you know?
She told me.
Then keep your mouth shut, Gwynblade, because if...
I know what will happen if they learn, Yorvith. I've found Thaumadour's recipe.
Eilhart already told us the ingredients for mage pain. How's it relevant?
Usually the recipe for an antidote is right next to the one for the poison.
I can recite it exactly. Royal blood, an immortelle, a dragon's dream, and petals from a rose of remembrance.
Yet this book doesn't even mention a rose of remembrance.
I recall perfectly that Eilhart said a rose of remembrance combined with an immortelle heals the mind.
What if she lied? Maybe it doesn't heal the mind, but influences it. Philippa passed the flower to Saskia through a kiss, the symbol of love and perdition.
I'm confused.
I think Philippa subjugated Saskia's mind by adding the rose to the antidote.
I'll kill that bitch.
Philippa has magic and an obedient dragon at her command. She could have a strong influence on the conference.
But what does she want?
We can only learn that in Loch Muin.
Let's go then, Gwynblade.
Geralt! Saskia's disappeared! People are getting riled!
Dwarves, too!
Saskia's spellbound. Philippa controls her.
You're shitting me.
I knew something was up. I could feel it. She ordered Deathmold executed, no trial, just like that. A gesture from Philippa is all it took.
That bastard deserved it.
I wouldn't be surprised if Zoltan had ordered it, as vengeful as he is. But Saskia?
Where is she?
Philippa's taken her to Loch Muin. I'm going after Saskia, with Yorvith. Everything suggests those responsible for Foltest's death will be at Loch Muin.
Some still say you killed him.
I've got to stop that drivel. Don't have a choice, but you do.
The elite of the North is gathering at Loch Muin. I couldn't forgive myself if I wasn't there. It'd be a sin against art.
The art of poking your nose in others' business.
You'll be needed here until Saskia returns. Order must prevail. There can be no strife. The victory over Henselt was an important step, but only the first on a long road.
The hymn I composed could help.
Vergen will need many more songs.
I certainly hope our paths will cross again, Geralt of Rivia.
Stop dramatizing. You can be sure of that. We've got unfinished business of our own.
Huh? Oh, aye.
Let's go then, Gwynblade.
Sheila de Tanserville. I'd sensed from the start that some dark mystery lay behind that cold countenance. Following the demise of the Council and Conclave, there was no one left to keep the mages in line. But regicide? Why? What was this all about? It seemed these questions would be answered at Loch Muin, an ancient city amidst mountains, the remnants of the civilization of the Vrans, whose dusk had come long ago. And you would be right to ask, why did you not set out for Loch Muin, Master Dandelion? Vergen was free. Yet what is freedom without its awareness? It might too easily pass from hand to hand were a nation to lack individuals capable of pointing the way. I remained in the Palantir Valley. That is the task fate seemed to assign me, to safeguard freedom as it budded and bloomed. Who knows, I may yet prove freedom's bard. Yet forever feeling a vast, shared responsibility for the fate of the North, I dispatched to Loch Muin my faithful and capable friend, Geralt of Rivia. Have I mentioned his disdain for politics? Well, it was at Loch Muin where he could finally give vent to it.
Even gezien?
Asire varanahid.
Me voltocht en geheerd wen. Me vertrouwen het een bellengrek.
Visse dein ip kiezeret. Net en verb tenne. Het en krisa. Do you know what this is?
I know.
Who it is?
Triss Marigold. Until recently advisor to King Foltest. Artifact compression. A complicated spell.
Is she alive?
Her life processes are on hold. But it is reversible. Though very difficult.
You created a portal between Loch Muin and Nilfgaard. You should manage the figurine.
Stand back. I cannot be sure how her body will react to decompression.
No pentagrams, candles, spilt blood.
It figures you do know little about magic, Ambassador. It matters not.
We need her alive, Asira. Make sure her body survives decompression well.
I'll do what I can. But she will be disoriented for some time. What is your name? Oh! Tell me your name. Triss! Ah!
Vise getocht gedein. Vise espeit eb wovred. Daar tocht het nedling derien. Me hin eveneens eb turin. Me puft en alverdeg. Marigold. Your name is Triss Marigold.
I recognize this valley. This path leads to the city gates.
Come on!
Army tracks. When were you here last?
A long time ago by your measure. King, wasting time. These mountains have witnessed the fall of two civilizations. First that of the Vrans, and of ours. No.
They may be about to witness the fall of the third. Did the elves conquer them?
No, disease did, and the climate. Long ago, the sources of the Pontar did not freeze over and flowed all year. Flowers still bloomed on these slopes in Bellum. Knights of the Flaming Rose at a peace summit.
I wonder whose side they're on.
On that of whoever paid them.
They've made camp outside the city walls. Means they're not here in an official capacity.
Are they on vacation?
Maybe they just don't want to stand out.
Eilhart has a dragon up her sleeve. Radovid has invited a unit of the Order's knights.
Don't forget Sheila and Henselt.
It should be an interesting peace summit.
Any idea who might have summoned them?
Radovid. Now the scum of the Order wear the Redanian coat of arms as they burn pyres. Witch hunts are their favorite pastime, or so I've heard.
Radovid witnessed what the Order did in Vizima. He saw the Grand Master's madness with his own eyes. Yet he gave them a new home. For a good reason, I expect.
That's easy. He needed a whip against Eilhart.
You shouldn't let them see you.
I know. To them, a good elf is a dead elf.
It's not because you're an elf. It's because you're Yorvith.
I'll try to enter the city through the caves. I'd advise you to do the same.
The knights will know I'm wanted. You know of a passage?
I know of a cave nearby. There are many ways to enter Loch Muin, my friend. If Radovid has summoned the Order, I'm certain the others have brought their armies as well. The city must be full of soldiers. All of them sitting as if on a witch's bomb, waiting for a spark. But that may be to our advantage. If the rulers have holed themselves up in camps, it should be easy to move about between them.
Let's go before we get noticed. Medallion's telling me something.
Good you're here. Look what I found.
Keep your distance.
Already forgotten that a similar creature hung around my cave. There's a forested valley on the other side of the city, once teeming with wildlife. It's now dead.
I know. That's why we went around. What exactly killed the Vrans?
As the years went by and the climate turned colder, the Vrans had less and less food. Their hunters descended to the lowlands where they encountered the first humans. They tried to save themselves, building an aqueduct.
Come on!
When the elves arrived, they encountered only ghosts, a dead city falling into ruin. The Enshe rebuilt it, restored its former beauty. Humans did not arrive here for many more years. Marshal Grabnek then swiftly proved himself more deadly than all diseases combined. He attacked at night, murdering all the city's inhabitants. Most families died in their homes. The fires raged on for days.
Dragonfire can turn a city into a flaming tomb much quicker than Raupenek's. We're in Lochmuin.
We're on the fringes. We should find what we came for nearer the main quarters.
Let's go.
They gagged Philippa in the nick of time. She almost cast a spell. Rotting in the Redanian dungeon now in special shackles.
Radovid's right to show the witches their place.
I wonder what they'll do to her. Either the executioner or the monsters will have their fun. They say Logmuin's dungeons are full of scum of all kinds.
No idea what they locked her up for, but every sorceress is guilty of something.
True enough. Not likely to see anyone weeping for her.
A dungeon befits Philippa Eilhart very well, though gallows would be even better.
If they killed her, you can forget about healing Saskia.
They must guard her as heavily as the Emperor's bedchamber. We'll not get in there.
I'm in no hurry to visit the Emperor's bedchamber, but we've got to get into the dungeon.
Look for a passage through the sewers. I'll locate Eilhart's quarters. If she didn't expect to be arrested, I may find something interesting there.
The tunnels beneath the city sound reasonable.
They used to lead almost everywhere, though some passages may have collapsed during the fires.
It's still worth a shot.
Let's go then.
I'll find Philippa. You search her quarters.
Right. We learned a lot the last time we browsed through her things. Va fail, Gwynblade.
Guess they'll never learn. Medallion's telling me something.
I knew we'd meet again.
Not you.
Silgrat doesn't forget humiliation.
What do you want?
You won't win this time. All of Edern will know the power of Silgrat's fist. Stand and fight. Be off! Oh, the fucking shame.
Yes.
Let's play dice.
You must first defeat my teacher. He's a master of magic, but grossly my inferior when it comes to dice.
I don't believe you killed Foltest.
I didn't.
But a bounty is a bounty. I'm sure you understand. As a professional. It's nothing personal.
One more windbag.
I must have proof! He's but one man, damn it! He's but one man, damn it!
Shit, you stink.
Welcome.
Gale. Oh, it's a lovely day today.
Let me guess.
Behold, the mighty Numa, and I am his apprentice.
Way to spoil my fun.
The mighty Numa breaks the necks of bulls, bends iron bars, defeats everyone. Numa. His secret lies in the mushrooms and herbs cultivated in Ilanda and picked in the mornings by virgin priestesses. They can be yours for a very reasonable price.
Now you tell me. I don't work with sorceresses. This is no job for me.
What's going on? Are you about to fight?
The Conclave has forbidden dueling.
You can't just back out. We agreed. We have commitments to fulfill.
You did take an advance on your fee. And I'm keeping it. Don't you follow me.
Witcher Geralt. A sight for sore eyes you are. May we speak?
Didn't expect to see you again. Certainly not here.
Loch Muin is an intriguing place.
For scientists especially.
We've mounted a small expedition and require protection.
What kind of expedition are we talking about?
We have irrefutable evidence that Ebder Henna's laboratory is located in Loch Muin.
We need an armed man to protect us from the filth in the sewers. They're infested with monsters.
The details you'll get from our employer.
A sorceress.
I know a thing or two about monsters, and about sorceresses. What's this one's name?
I'm sorry, but we cannot disclose her name until you agree to join us.
Nice talking to you then.
Cynthia! Her name is Cynthia!
What was Der Hanna doing in this city?
Everyone's heard of his 1,000 genie curse, but few know that he also had a penchant for the history of Loch Muin. He was particularly interested in the Vrans and their ultimate decline as a civilization. In his memoirs, he mentions that he left his archive here. That's how we pinpointed the location of his laboratory.
You did?
The sorceress did, in point of fact.
But we're the ones who know everything about Ebder Henna.
I wrote my dissertation about the man. To arrive at the laboratory, we must pass through the sewers.
Tell you what, I'll catch up to you when I'm ready to go. Where will I find you?
We're off to the Crypt of Mages.
It's beneath that tower.
How are things?
You're either very unobservant or very rude. I thought I'd meet some of my colleagues from years past, chat with them and reminisce, but they all turn their heads away and treat me like air.
Mages aren't known for being polite.
You're telling me. They threw me out of Banard the first chance they got. Must have beaten the Chancellor one too many times. They've all forgotten me and I believe I've had enough. I'm getting rid of the grimoires and amulets. I don't want anything to do with mages.
I'd like to cast an eye at those if you don't mind.
Sure. Cast both if you want.
Anything on the Wild Hunt in your collection?
I'd avoid the topic altogether. Nothing good has ever come to those who have delved.
I'll take my chances. I need to know why the Wraiths carry off youths. What happens to them?
This knowledge has never been recorded, which does not mean it cannot be acquired.
Well, I'd like to acquire it.
In the chasms beneath Loch Muin, there is a sword that once belonged to an elf from the parallel world.
And nobody's gone to look for it?
There are mages who seek it still, but the sword is well concealed. They say he who handles it will understand the essence of the Wild Hunt. Could that be true, though?
the black cat, and the bat, the owl, and the rat. Likewise.
Good day. Oh my.
I'm Geralt.
Brass of Banard. I remember you from Thanad. I believe I saw you in Oxenfurt, too.
Seems we only ever meet on Elvenland.
Indeed. But I suspect you're not here to chat about elven ruins.
Actually, I'm here because of your weapon expertise.
I'm no expert.
You're the best swordsmith among mages.
I'm more interested in the cultural relics of other races, actually.
I'm going to need a solid cultural relic in my hand.
I guess the circumstances require haste.
Hey!
Your towers and crystal balls, break your wands and burn your hats. Turn away the black cat and the bat, the owl. Likewise.
Greetings.
It's a brazen attack. King Radovid will learn of this.
Radovid sent them, you
I
idiot!
don't want
The audacity!
Pull yourself together!
Greetings.
Many thanks.
Kitchen open.
It's not that kind of fire. The eternal fire is the light of truth, the heart of a true community. Only in the eternal fire beneath the sign of this clan can we burn witches all day and man is fellow man.
This would never happen if the Conclave still existed.
And if Grandma had a moustache, she'd be a catfish.
We must protest with all our power.
Oh, shut up.
Gotta pay for looking too.
What do you want?
Just curious.
Go, go, and don't come back!
Say goodbye to life! For the kingdom! Recruiting danger! Recruiting danger! What is this? Very funny. Very funny. I'll rip your guts out!
What now? I'll rip your guts out! Death and honor! For the kingdom!
What?
Honor over life!
What?
For Natalis!
danger! Recruit in danger! Recruit in danger! Recruit in danger! Recruit in danger! Recruit in... Recruit in danger! Recruit in danger! Recruit in danger! Recruit in danger!
At your service.
Renounce magic, I tell you! Shatter your towers! the bat, the owl, and the rat.
Constable John Natalis.
Interex John Natalis. He is regent.
Hard to believe. He's a general.
Prepare for your final lesson.
Final? But...
I'll have no discussion. This will be a practical object lesson. You'll learn what a sorceress can never agree to under any circumstances.
Medallion's vibrating. The sword of Aramil, who defied his king's rule. The Lord of the Wild Hunt desires the gene of the Elder Blood. He seeks to fling open the gates between the worlds so that terror and destruction may reign. The King of the Hunt ordered me slain, and the wraiths born of his command assumed living form, pursuing me through the voids between the worlds for centuries. I have arrived at Loch Muin. Though tired, I know I will not rest. The riders of the hunt draw near. On my back, I can feel their deathly breath.
I don't want anything to do with you.
Greetings.
Prepare for your
Greetings.
final lesson.
Final? But...
Greetings. No discussion. This will be...
The absence of
Witcher.
certain people...
Tris Merigold is said to be coming, if late.
I know he was preparing a...
His portal experiment went out of control.
And Yennefer of Vengerberg?
I haven't heard from her.
Greetings.
Here to see the show. It's cancelled, indefinitely. We're now in the services sector.
What service do you provide?
I was once a good swordsmith, or at least it looked like I might be. A riot came through, took my workshop with it, but the skill remained. I actually prefer swallowing swords to hammering them, but that upsets my wife.
Give her my best.
You can do so yourself. She's Ilona, the bearded she-elf.
Ah, and how's life with a bearded she-elf?
Pretty normal. We don't generally bring our work home with us.
Well, Queen Francesca.
Absentees will be the first to criticize.
Welcome. I'm Ilona, the bearded she-elf.
Bearded?
Don't be a child. We came here to perform, but this place is a circus in itself. Nobody's interested in us, so we're on to plan B. Trade.
What do you sell?
Food. Fresh. Very good. You want to buy something, or are you waiting for my beard to grow out?
So, even the Nilfgaardians have graced us with their presence.
Your Excellency knows well that our hosts are libertines and eccentrics.
No extravagance excuses.
Constable John Natalis.
Interex John Natalis.
Hard to believe. He's a gentleman.
Nothing special.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Oh, it's a lovely day today.
The hero of this at your service.
To Gale.
We've broken through in the right spot.
Quiet.
Stand ready. He killed Vanamar.
And many other mages. I know who he is, Cynthia.
In the same city as Philippa, and you didn't even bother to change your name. That takes balls.
Philippa's out of the picture. She's been arrested.
And I was supposed to die, but I didn't. Grave error.
I'll make you a deal.
You don't get it. You turned Triss into a cold stone. I'm having a hard time trying to figure out why I shouldn't turn you into a cold corpse.
She is alive and well. We decompressed her successfully. There were no complications.
And the interrogation after she was decompressed? Because you did interrogate her.
I personally supervised it. We presented the tools, gave her a few bruises, and that sufficed to get her to talk.
Tools? A few bruises? You really don't want to leave this crypt alive.
If we're to die, we'll do so proudly, serving the Emperor. But I think that unlikely. Contrary to what they say, you're no murderer. Triss told me so.
Got anything else to tell me?
Just one thing. I've supervised dozens of interrogations. All subjects talk sooner or later. That's an old truth. Though some resist longer than others. Triss Merigold did not resist at all. She grew pale at the mere sight of the saws, hooks, and needles. She was prepared to talk before the interrogation began.
What did she tell you?
I will not betray the Emperor.
We'll come back to that. How can I get into the Nilfgaardian camp?
There's one entrance. Beyond it, a long, heavily guarded corridor. You can't hope to sneak in. Renwald Matson chose the spot specifically to avoid being surprised.
Where are you holding Triss?
At the back of the camp, beneath a ruined building.
You're gonna help me free her.
Not likely. You're better off killing me now. You've no idea what the Emperor's intelligence apparatus does to turncoats.
Why are you here?
We suspect Der Henne's laboratory may contain documents and books that could be useful to the Imperial Academy of Science.
That wasn't even close to funny. You're lying.
We don't know what's inside. Der Henne was a talented man, but also an eccentric.
What do you hope to find?
That's confidential. I cannot tell you. Regardless, we need your help. The laboratory lies beneath the Redanian camp, which we cannot penetrate above ground. We want to get there through the sewers, but can't manage it without a capable swordsman.
About that offer. Fine. I'll help you open the laboratory.
In exchange, I'll tell you all I can. Do we have a deal?
Yeah. One more thing.
We made a deal.
I'm even faster with my sword. No tricks.
Are we likely to encounter drowners? Or a related species? Perhaps other monsters?
That is how this world's built. Sewers are infested with monsters.
be sure of it.
I'm no rat to run around sewers. What are we looking for, anyway? Some graves, I heard.
Graves? So maybe there is something in this forest.
Shut your traps. Want the sergeant to hear? We've been deep shite.
We've got company.
The entrance must be somewhere here.
If our experts are to be trusted.
Dehenna dabbled in illusions, among other things.
He also experimented heavily with golems.
Golems with the power of speech, supposedly. They knew nothing of poetry, but...
Will you two shut up?
Yes, it's an illusion. I found a weak spot. Stand back. Later, Elorn. Lisa Elorn. Later, dear!
At times I'm caught. You can get my kind of feat. Though I have no needles, they say I am piercing. What am I?
Careful with the answer. It could be a trap.
Typical of Dehenna. He was a genius with a penchant for mischievous jokes, like a child.
So a couple of adults, purported experts, should have no problem solving this.
Indeed, it's trivial. The answer is pain.
Incorrect.
No! Impossible! So many years. Imagine the books, the potions. My poor friend.
Let's get this over with quickly.
I'm seen to fly, described as hard. I can be your currency and heal all wounds, but not many things can stand my test.
Can you please repeat the riddle?
I'm seen to fly, described as hard. I can be your currency and heal all wounds, but not many things can stand my test.
Time.
Correct.
It's going rather well so far.
Not for everybody. Someone's been here recently.
Well, well, the competition's here. Kill them!
Look out!
Burn all majors!
another guardian. Later Enlorn, Lisa Enlorn, later dear! It's reacting to my spell.
A group of travelers wandering through the dark. 3 guides above them, so 3 were marked. At night they trailed a drake serpentine and a silver lady shining and fine. If only her visage she would deign to unfold. By day they followed a mountain vault, its riches untold.
Did I hear someone complain about the riddles being too easy?
Let's think this through. There are 9 alcoves, a fresco in each. That's 3 groups of 3 frescoes.
The riddle mentions 3 guides above the travelers. We must examine the frescoes, seek answers there.
I'll advise you about the riddle, but I will not take part in disarming the device. I've got a bad feeling about this.
A group of travelers wandering through the dark. 3 guides above them, so 3 were marked. At night they trailed a drake serpentine and a silver lady shining and fine. If only her visage she would deign to unfold. By day they followed a mountain vault, its riches untold.
What do you think of the first verse?
I would say it describes a serpentine dragon swallowing its own tail, which represents infinity and thus time. The hourglass likewise symbolizes time. In this case, the time of the traveler's journey.
I believe it's the dragon constellation. It would be visible at night. What's more, sources on alchemy invariably portray dragons as winged, and as an accomplished alchemist, Gehenna would also be a competent astrologer. The verse must refer to the constellation.
In alchemy, the winged serpentine dragon represents prime matter, an essential component in the process of alchemical transformation. The verse seems to indicate the allegory illustrating that transformation.
Everything seems to suggest the allegory of alchemical transformation.
I shall take that one.
What do you think of the second verse?
To my mind, it speaks of the white rose, symbol of the Order of the Flaming Rose. You see, the fresco itself resembles a coat of arms, and in heraldry silver is rendered as white. So the Silver Lady and White Rose are one and the same.
I think it describes the full moon. In alchemy, the moon represents both silver as a metal and the feminine element.
The order remains largely unknown in the south, so the White Rose seems unlikely. Every Nilfgaardian, on the other hand, has heard of the Imperial Nausicaa Brigade, which has the Death's Head as its symbol. The brigade's name is female, and they say death follows the unit. So the Silver Lady could very well be Nausicaa or the Death's Head.
It's the skull, or at least it should be.
Allow me.
What do you say to the third verse?
It describes the precipice, the ravine amidst mountains. An ancient rule in alchemy states, as above, so below. The vault is the ravine into which the riches of the mountain flow.
We must read the third line literally. To me, it suggests the Mahakam Mountains and its mines, from which dwarves and gnomes extract many ores that are invaluable to alchemists. Those mountains are a vault in and of themselves.
The verse is not literal. In many legends, towers are in fact vaults, which the hero must penetrate in order to rescue an imprisoned princess or find a long-concealed magic item. The mountain vault is the tower.
The mine entrance in the mountainside. That seems logical. I'll stand next to that fresco. Let's see if we can solve this. Take your places.
Count me out. I want to live.
As you will.
I persuaded Gaspar to pursue all this.
How many more try another combination.
Travelers wandering through the dark. 3 guides above them, so 3 were marked. At night they trailed a drake serpentine and a silver lady shining and fine. If only her visage she would deign to unfold. By day they followed a mountain vault, its riches untold.
It should be the Dragon constellation.
I shall take that one.
I think it's the full moon.
Allow me.
The mine entrance in the mountainside. That seems logical. I'll stand next to that fresco. Let's see if we can solve this. Take your places.
Count me out. I want to live.
As you will.
group of... At night they trailed a drake serpentine and a silver lady shining and fine. If only her visage she would deign to unfold. By day they followed a mountain vault, its riches untold.
It should be the Dragon constellation.
I shall take that one.
I think it's the full moon.
Allow me.
The mine entrance in the mountainside. That seems logical. I'll stand next to that fresco. Let's see if we can solve this. Take your places.
Count me out. I want to live.
As you will.
Intruder detected.
No!
Our expedition has grown thin. Such a shame. I actually found those two amusing.
Shut up.
Of course, my lady.
A golem? So Darehenna's legend is true?
It is no more than an obedient machine created to follow orders and kill. Not unlike our Witcher.
So I guess we should get along famously.
You? What do you know about golems?
I don't run into them in every forest, but any good bestiary describes golems at length, and I've read more than my share of those.
Geralt, I'm not questioning your knowledge, but I should be the one to...
Actually, you are questioning my knowledge. Listen, I know what I'm doing. I'll try to get it to reveal the word that'll deactivate it, or I'll just mess with its head. Break the code.
So now we've got a burglar in our midst. Be my guest. Try.
My intentions are good.
As are mine. Know, however, that this may change.
Darehenna must have been pretty lonely if he gave you eloquence.
The Master made me a guardian. Nothing less, nothing more. And you, provided you stand there, are a guest.
Do you remember your creator?
Of course. I was summoned into being by Master Darehenna. I abide by his will, by his power, by the necessity encased in my stone bowels.
Darehenna is dead.
His word, which animates me, lives on, as does his legacy, which I protect. Empires will rise and fall, rivers will shift their courses, but I will remain obedient to one master on my eternal watch.
Can I ask you for the name word which brought you to life and which can deactivate you?
Do that, and I shall consider you an intruder.
Darehenna must have been an exceptional man. Can you tell me about him?
I guard everything that belonged to the Master, including his privacy, which he valued highly. I can tell you nothing.
You're not an automaton. You're self-aware, and you think. You can make decisions.
discern between guests and intruders. I can also deal with the latter. But everything I say and do is limited by my restrictive program. By the way, as an automaton, I am immune to all charms. Stop the intruders.
Look out!
Penetrated their Hennis laboratory.
This is better than I hoped.
A great success for Nilfgaard, this mission.
Maybe you'll get that promotion.
There's notes about the city's history.
Can you feel that?
My medallion's vibrating.
Another masking illusion. I'll try to disperse it.
Diana's notes from
Later, Elorn. Lisa Elorn. Later, dear!
The device. What is it?
You've done your job. You'll be paid and...
Paid like the scholars were? They died once they were no longer useful.
They were never useful, but Cynthia insisted. Fortunately, they were so kind as to remove themselves without my help.
I'm not about to be that kind.
Adelbert, you know what you're to look for.
Yes, Mom.
It's a prototype megascope. I didn't know it had survived.
What's it do?
The artifact detects an emotional bond with a person. Its user need only focus on that person and the device will establish a connection.
Great tool for a spy.
Yes.
Time you fulfilled your end of the bargain. What do you know about my past?
You were a rider of the Wild Hunt. I read the reports.
Don't the Nilfgaardians have anything better to do than write reports about witchers?
Not about witchers. About you. You are the sole person to have been a member of the host. And survived.
I was sure you'd try to cheat me. Gotta admit I was wrong.
You were sure and you came with us anyway.
I was curious. I wanted to see what Nilfgaard was after.
Your payment. You were well worth the coin.
I wonder where we'll meet next. What it'll be like.
Who knows? Perhaps we'll be allies once more.
Diana mentions some bacteria strains. Diana describes finding an important document about the Vrans.
Renounce magic, I tell you! Shatter your towers and crystal balls! Break your wands! And the rat! Likewise, the frog.
Interrex John Thomas.
Prepare for your final lesson.
Final? What?
Prepare for your final lesson.
The absence of certain people. True Gale.
Ah.
Nothing special. Welcome.
Welcome.
Nothing special. Ah.
Freak! You lose something.
Yes?
I guess you're here about the war with Kedwin.
They wouldn't let us near Natalis, and Radovid refuses an audience. Scandalous. The mages drone on about their coven of advisors, but even they don't take us seriously. Saskia is our only hope. Perhaps she can achieve something. The word is Henselt had a fit upon learning of our arrival.
He's prone to having those.
He's a troublemaker, not a king.
It's a little more subtle than that. Henselt is to diplomacy, like Dandelion is to tutoring young noblewomen. The mages will be overjoyed if you sign their treaty. Any idea who'd be the advisor in Vengerberg?
They insist on appointing the advisors themselves, though I doubt Saskia will accept that.
Anything can happen.
That lass will allow no one to control her. I've been observing her. She's a splendid commander.
Making her even more dangerous if anyone manages to manipulate her.
I'm not sure I understand.
Just thinking aloud.
Freak!
Oh, it's a lovely day today.
Your very existence is an
Pour venom into rulers' ears no more. It's not too late to repent.
Godspeed, Witcher.
I don't want anything to do with you. What do you want?
Smelled something awful. Thought it was dung. Now I see it's only a couple of Redanian dogs.
What was that?
Bloody bastard. You're about to feel a Redanian dog's bite! That's him!
Oh, how nice.
What's going on here? Enough!
Nothing worth your while. A little difference of opinion.
I could treat this as an assault on representatives of the Redanian royal delegation.
Yeah, you could. What would that entail?
A stint in the dungeon ought to calm you down. Then we'll see.
A stupid street fight, and you want to dump me in a dungeon with Philippa Eilhart?
Ah, we're not animals. A modest contribution to the Order, along with your word of honor that you'll not do this again.
A contribution and my word of honor or the dungeon.
Precisely.
Listen, Sir Knight, if you don't shut your fat mouth, I'll start a row that'll make the Battle of Brenna look like a squabble.
Bind this madman and lock him up with the witch!
You? Here? What are you doing here?
I worked awfully hard to see Philippa Eilhart in chains.
I doubt you'll be so witty once we're standing side by side on the scaffold.
Unlike you, I've done nothing that would get me hanged.
To them, you're a kingslayer. I assure you, Radovid's torturers will make you admit to anything. Even intercourse with trolls.
Did you know from the start that Saskia was a dragon?
I had suspected she was not what she seemed to be for some time, though I did not learn the truth until she fell poisoned and I could examine her thoroughly.
I've seen the list of antidote ingredients. Not a word about the Rose of Remembrance.
Well, we all prefer to have loyal allies. The Rose of Remembrance is very powerful. Even as a she-dragon, Saskia could not resist my spell.
Why don't you summon her? You could use some help now.
Dimeritium blocks all magic, telepathy included.
Someone's coming.
Your Majesty.
I've waited long for this meeting. You left Redania so suddenly I had no chance to give you the send-off you so richly deserved.
Your Majesty, I fail to understand why I have been arrested. I've done nothing but serve Redania's interests, supporting the rebellion, undermining Henselt, risking my own reputation on your behalf.
I'm no longer the little boy who believed your every word.
Why do you do this, Radovid? I was there at your most trying hours. Without me, you would not be the man you are. I don't understand.
You understand very well. You conspired against my father Vizimir, and against me. The entire Redanian court once trembled in fear of Philippa Eilhart.
Untrue, sire. You must let me explain. What are your charges, your Majesty?
Ambassador.
Triss Merigold was kind enough to compile a list of persons making up the secret society known as the Lodge of Sorceresses. Some Nilfgaardian sorceresses were members as well, but you need not be bothered with them, my lady.
Triss, you're mad!
The Lodge ordered Demaven killed. It ordered Foltest killed. I suspect you played a part in my father's death. And if I released you from the Dimeritium, you'd kill me too. You're finished, Eilhart. There will be a trial, due process, everything as it should be. But know that you shall not wriggle out of this. You shall be convicted of conspiracy, treason, and regicide. They'll rip your flesh from you in bits before they burn you at the stake. Throughout my childhood, I felt your cold stare on the back of my neck. When I issued orders, my subjects would search with their eyes for Philippa Eilhart's gesture of consent. The entire court at Tretogor looked on as you humiliated me. All Redania laughed behind my back. You taught me to look everyone in the eye. Forced them to lower their gaze, do you remember? A king must never show weakness, uncertainty, you said. I've mastered that skill. Yet there is one I could never force to submit. You. You've one chance to shorten your suffering. Admit to everything, here and now in the ambassador's presence. Look me in the eye and repent. Submit. As you wish. Torturer, put out those vile eyes.
You're making a grave error, sire.
will talk again, witch.
I refused to believe it when they told me Geralt of Rivia was in my dungeon. The Geralt I know wouldn't let himself be captured.
I was really hankering for a tour of your dungeon, sire.
What's so interesting about it?
The guests.
I apologize for the dismal company you're in, Witcher. Fortunately, Eilhart won't be with us much longer.
The Nilfgaardian ambassador mentioned an organization of sorceresses. Just so happens I'm interested in the plans of this lodge.
Those plans should interest no one, because the lodge will soon cease to exist. I've nothing against you personally, Witcher, but you've gone from being an uninvited guest to being an awkward witness.
I beg your mercy, not for myself, but for Triss Merigold.
Your friend is now in Ambassador Fitz-Esterlin's hands.
I know, but surely Shillard won't deny you a small favor, sire.
Forgive me, but I can't be sure that I won't require grander favors from Nilfgaard. The fate of entire nations will be decided in this city. Individuals are irrelevant.
I understand I'm in for an extended tour.
You certainly shan't leave here before the summit ends.
I'm flattered, sire, but you overestimate me if you think I could influence it in any way.
Politics is like a complicated puzzle. Every piece may prove useful, or equally useless, even harmful. A breakthrough awaits us here at Lochmuin, by my hand no less. This will be no second Thaned. Soon, everyone will learn what the Redanian king is capable of. You'll excuse me, but it's time for the summit.
Radovid is capable, but too young. He has yet to understand that only the dead remain truly silent. Because Redania is doing Nilfgaard a favor, I feel obliged to help the king in return.
What favor do you mean? You can tell me. Just like you said, the dead keep their secrets.
That's true, but I prefer to be cautious. I promise to reveal every last detail as soon as your body is cold. Pity you won't live to see it. Lochmuin's in for a huge surprise, both the mages and the kings.
Nobody likes others to decide for them. That's especially true of kings.
You're dangerous, Witcher, and too independent. In time, Radovid will thank me, and he won't be alone. Kill him, but beware his sorcery.
Hold him, Hart.
Get me out of here!
I need some answers first. Was Shillard telling the truth about the lodge, the assassinations?
He said exactly what Radovid wanted to hear. Half-truths, musings stripped of context, which differ very little from lies.
Did Triss take part in all this?
She's clean in those terms. Innocent as a child, but only to a point. I assure you, she has not been honest with you about many other matters.
Why did all this happen? Murdering monarchs, what interests did it serve? I can't fathom.
Help me get out of here and I'll explain all and lift the spell from Saskia. Take these shackles off me and lead me to my house. I beg you. I'll tell you everything. Everything.
How does the spell work?
Saskia's will and mine are one. She cannot resist me. But fear not. There's no suffering involved. She merely believes me to be the most wonderful person in the world. As if she were in love. You know what's most beautiful? In spite of all this, she seems unchanged. She's retained her charm, her valor, her honor.
Where's Saskia?
When I was arrested, she was with Sheila. They must be on their way to the deliberations by now.
I didn't track you alone. Yorvith can't wait to see you again.
My death would change little. Yorvith and all like him have no right to judge others.
Clock's ticking. Time is of the essence.
Why do you do this? Would you take vengeance on a blind woman?
Shillard said they've got Triss. I have to free her before they put out her eyes too.
Going to the Nilfgaardian camp is suicide.
And leaving a friend is villainy.
Only I know how to break the spell that holds Saskia. Get me out of here. If I die, she'll remain forever spellbound.
All right, but if you're lying to me...
Unbind me and lead the way. We must return through the sewers.
The shackles stay on, and you'll go first.
Shillard will raise the alarm.
No, he won't. We'll be long gone by the time he comes to.
Kill him.
I'm not into murdering unconscious old men. Lead on. No tricks.
I want to live, and I want to live.
I believe that.
I'll manage. Will you remove my shackles?
The manacles stay on.
Atkin, game. Who did this to her?
It was Radovid's way of thanking her for the care she provided him when he was a child.
I saw him with his army on his way to the talks, whistling a tune.
Get me out of here!
Shut up, witch! You're alive only because you're still needed.
Philippa's promised to help us in exchange for her freedom.
And you believe her?
Know a better way to free Saskia? What state is Saskia in now?
I've ordered her to carry out Sheila's bidding until I return.
Great. And Sheila will be at the talks?
Yes. She's probably there already, making certain the Lodge's plans do not fall through.
What would you have done if Saskia hadn't been poisoned? If a certain foolish witcher hadn't gathered the potion ingredients?
I would have sought other means, but I couldn't miss that opportunity.
What's Sheila supposed to safeguard?
The restitution of the Council and Conclave, and the creation of a strong, independent state with Saskia as its leader.
With what aim?
As a bulwark. A defense against Nilfgaard. After years of chaos and destruction, the time has come to build. We wish to rule, yes. Where is the fault in that? Everyone wants to rule. And I know how to do that. better than any other monarch in this city.
You can't hope to win the common folk's trust. Humans will never accept a sorceress queen.
Non-humans won't either, given what that old hag Finderbear has achieved.
They all believe in Saskia. They all trust her. The girl is a born leader, yet she has no political instincts. She's charismatic but not cunning, courageous but not fierce. She is just but lacks the required cruelty.
She is your very opposite.
Perhaps. Together we would be unstoppable.
Did you order Foltest murdered?
No!
Shillard claimed that Triss testified.
Triss doesn't know what she's talking about. The Lodge exists, and Triss has lost our trust. All that is true. But Foltest's assassination? That was not my order.
How do we free Saskia?
I have charmed a dagger with a counterspell. You must thrust it into the she-dragon's heart.
You mean your heart, witch? Do you mock us?
There is no other way. She must be struck with surgical precision. Otherwise the counterspell won't work. All the blade's runes must touch blood, and its point must pierce a chamber of her heart.
We'll need to hold her down somehow.
Hold down a dragon? This is ridiculous. She's lying, Geralt. I don't trust her. Why would she even need this dagger? In a minute we'll hear that she planned to free Saskia herself.
Any time you cast a spell or a curse, you must have a counterspell at the ready. It's a basic rule of magic. I prepared the dagger just before I cast the spell, in case anything went awry.
A basic rule, but I don't know many mages who follow it. Where's the dagger?
My quarters. In Geoffrey Monk's former home, inside a well-secured chest.
I know the house.
Yorvith, know any way to get to Philippa's quarters unnoticed?
Through this sewer. We may encounter monsters, but we'll gain a lot of time.
Keep an eye on her. I'll go ahead. How many more?
What guarantee do I have that you'll set me free?
None.
If your dagger fails to work, or you'll be next. And be assured, it will not be a quick one.
Slow down. I can't keep up this pace.
The sooner you give us the dagger, the sooner you can lick your wounds, bitch.
Pain-killing spells require focus and precision. I cannot manage one now.
Die from the pain, then. Rest assured, no one will help you, nor weep for you.
Neither do I.
many more can there be?
Unshackle me. Remove the dimeritium. I can help you.
Shut up!
Is this the chest?
Describe it.
It's heavy, covered in runes. There's a circle and candles on the floor.
Yes. The very chest in which Geoffrey Monk kept his most valuable treasures. The dagger's inside.
How do we bloody open it?
The candles must be lit in a specific order. I figured it out. My notes are downstairs. After that, a simple spell will suffice. Remove my shackles.
Geralt, do you know this ritual?
Only a mage can perform it.
Shut up!
I need to look at the notes first. After I light the candles, we'll remove the dimeritium, and you'll open the chest. Wrong sequence. sent out.
with a spell.
Neither of us can utter it.
It's not something you learn in a moment. A trained mage is needed to cast spells. And that is what you need to learn. Do as I say before its consciousness. Listen, do I? You can lift the spell binding her, but she will never be human.
She's more than a Dwa. Someone who restored hope to the Enshe.
She's a monster. If you think she can rule a realm of humans and elves herself...
Face it, Delian!
You'll suffer the consequences of your foolishness.
Look out, Garth! Get the dagger and let's get out of here!
Let's hope this blade will do the trick.
A strange weapon. Never seen anything like it. I hope it works. Too bad Eilhart won't tell us anything more.
Keep in mind that the other sorceresses are here. Philippa may inform Sheila.
Or command the dragon.
I won't be surprised if I'm forced to fight Saskia. Confused by spells, she won't understand we want to help her.
You're probably right. But please don't kill her. Unless you must do so to save your own life.
Philippa will be far away by now. She was in pain. Let's hope that kept her honest.
She's bound to recover quickly and promptly return to conspiring.
She's out of the game for now. Time to join the talks.
I'll go ahead and see what we can expect. Renounce magic, I tell you! Shatter your towers and crystal balls! Break your wands and burn your hats! Turn away the black cat! And the bat, the owl, and the rat! Likewise, the frog. In a hurry to get to the deliberations.
Has Saskia spoken yet?
That cunt inspired dreams of freedom among the peasantry. Now all Edirne stands in flames. Peasants slaughter nobles.
They just wanted a free Vergen.
Free Vergen? To hell with a lot of you!
Freedom. A magic word. It can replace nourishment, inspire the masses to fight. Those who cry freedom can perform miracles. Stennis underestimated the meaning of freedom when he poured poison into the mouth of one who spoke that word earnestly. Edirne has no king. It has no ruler. Instead, it has famine, disease, bandits, and poverty. The fight for freedom is always good, but then rulers must be chosen and it all starts again. Yet the free are joyful, even if a bit hungry.
Final lesson.
Final? But...
I'll have no discussion. This will be a practical object lesson. You'll learn what a sorceress can never agree to under any circumstances. Prepare for your final lesson.
Final? But...
I'll have no discussion. This will be a practical object lesson. You'll learn what a sorceress